Hey, No Brains, No Headache listeners. You can find every episode on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Episodes are available to watch on YouTube, where you can subscribe, like, and comment on each episode. Make sure to follow No Brains, No Headache on your favorite social media platform for up-to-date news, clips, and poorly timed jokes. Now let's get into this week's episode.
No brains, no headache. That's the way I like it. Turn my worries into jokes. Set them on fire while we light it. No brains.
Welcome to No Brains, No Headache podcast, episode 284. We're back for yet another exciting show, and we're happy to be here. So thank you, our loyal listeners, so much for being with us. I'm Jordan Weichel. I'm going to be your host today. Happy to be here. Damn glad to do so. Next to me is my co-host, my confidant, longtime friend, fellow comedian. I like to call him Ongo. It's Matt Cleary. Ongo, how are we doing today?
I almost Tommy Boy'd someone's car door off on my drive home from work today.
You just you erased it as they had it open?
Like, you know, when, well, it was like that school I drive by on my way home. The guy just whipped his door open as fast as he could, and I like swerved and hit one of those temporary like walk signs.
Yeah.
And so my car didn't get damaged at all, but they are going to need a new temporary walk sign because that thing is flat as can be.
Well, at least it was the walk sign and not, a child. So I think they're willing to sacrifice the walk sign if it means that it's not a human.
I could argue we have more children than temporary walk signs in this world. Maybe we thin the herd a little bit.
Yeah, that could be an idea. Some people, I feel like they don't care when they open up their car door. Like they're hoping that it just gets erased Tommy Boy style. And that's what you were going for. You're trying to do them a favor practically.
I was like, that guy's car was way nicer than mine, so I don't know what he's trying to do.
Well, maybe it's like maybe his insurance is winding down or something, and he just wants to cash in while he can. You never know. You never really know.
Like last year when I had that really dumb week / dumb month, pretty much all of last year.
Yeah.
That happened again. So last week I'm talking with one of my friends. He goes, "Hey, I have Monday Night Golf League. Would you like to sub?" I'm like, absolutely. That sounds awesome. Completely forget about it until Monday. He texts me and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. I'm like, I don't even know where my golf clubs are. Like, I haven't played golf since maybe like June. And some of them were in my car. Some of them were in my garage. But I managed to put together the full set. And I'm like, I should really clean out my golf bag. I'm like, why is this thing so heavy? I have 5 dozen golf balls brand new in the box and 7 beers that exploded and then refroze from the winter.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was brutal. And then I had to clean my clubs too when I got there. And I was kind of like panicking. I gave the guy my card and he's like, "What's a name I can put it under?" I'm like, "Cleary." And then I wasn't really paying attention. He's like, "Is that with a C or a K?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Matt Clearly.
Yeah, and I was like, that was brutal. And then I went to this like big meeting thing today, and I see that the dude I golfed with was volunteering at the door, handing out like pamphlets. And he's basically like, welcome, handing them out. Not really paying attention. So I was like, I gotta say something because he's not doesn't really see me coming. And he goes, "Welcome, take your seat." And I just go, "Eat my ass." It was great.
Like in Christmas Vacation, he's like, "Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, kiss his ass, kiss my ass, kiss your ass."
Thanks for coming. Eat my ass.
Tongue fuck my asshole.
Yeah,
Sorry. I told myself I wasn't going to swear. That's 4 minutes, 50 seconds in.
You know what? We tried.
We gave it a whirl. I was trying to be cleaner, trying to be better. that didn't happen. I got tempted. I got
Much
tempted
like-
with one quick one.
Much like accounting 102, it's going to take me at least 3 tries to pass it.
I struggled with accounting too, that's where I ran into problems, mainly because my accounting 1 professor just passed me because he's just like one of those guys who's just he'll pass you no matter what. I showed up for the first day of class and then the final.
The my advisor, we had just a horrible relationship for an advisor because I would just go eat popcorn with him and then I'd sign up for all my own classes. And I would use him when I was in a pinch, but I feel like he thought I was kidding most of the time. So like one time I signed up for too many credits for me. So it was like 12, like barely full time. And I go in and I was like, yeah, I need to drop accounting 201. I'm just not gonna have time for it this year. I had well enough time to do it.
More than enough. Plenty of time.
And then at the end of the semester, he's like, "Man, grade looks pretty good, except for you got a 0 in accounting 201." And I was like, "What? I told you to drop that 4 months ago." And he was like, "I thought you were kidding." And I was like, "Why would I kid about that?"
I mean, hindsight, I probably should have done that because the first time I failed it, I was like, I don't know, I just had like a burst of motivation. So I was like, oh, sign me up for the 8 a.m. class.
Oh, yeah.
That was just a dumb idea. But also what I will say about college and like the older I get and the more experience I have doing other things, it's like, it's so true when they say that a college degree is just like a scam or it's like useless. Like, you could argue both ways. It's really what you make of it. But my freshman year fall semester, very first semester of full on college, I went up for the summer like orientation, kind of toured around and then signed up for classes. And like it was just students like volunteering probably and helping. It wasn't like an actual advisor, so I'll give them a little bit of grace. But they're like, what's your major? And at the time I was like, oh, psychology. And so what did they do? They signed me up for a basically a senior level psychology class that should be the last class you take of your bachelor's degree. They decided, you know what, we're gonna F this guy over and we're gonna have him do it his very first freshman fall semester. It was me and about 45 juniors and seniors. And then like reality hits and I was like, wait a minute, I don't want to like go past my bachelor's degree. And so I never ended up, like finishing out my psychology degree, so to speak. So therefore that class, it wasn't elective. It was specific to psychology. And I was just off to a dynamite start. So
like, the old joke, I'm totally making this up on the spot too. It's like,
great.
What do you do when you get just a bachelor's degree in psychology? It's like any job that doesn't require a college degree.
Yeah, pretty much. If you have a pulse, they will hire you, and that's what you'll get if you have a bachelor's degree in psychology. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and blame psychology for all of my psychological issues. Had I not been aware of the power of psychology, I don't think I would be having these issues now. But now that I know, it's very evident and clear.
That's like drowning and blaming it on water.
But it is water's issue. If it wasn't the water, you wouldn't have drowned. Sorry, that's called choking. If you drown without water, it's called choking.
You can drown by drinking water, I think. Don't fact check any of this.
Like just out of a cup? Like if you're just like, like sipping on some water out of your Vikings cup?
Yeah, have you ever drank water so much like after gym class? I remember sucking down on the water fountain and you'd drink water so much and so fast that you'd be out of breath. You're just waterboarding yourself.
Yeah, I've done that.
And the classic
plenty of times.
When someone wouldn't stop drinking water, you'd say, save some for the fishes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really just a dynamite drop in. But yeah, I'm glad we got to record. Excuse me for my energy levels. I'm a bit jet lagged, so you're just gonna have to bear with me on that.
It's 1 hour, and And in fact, I think you gained an hour.
I lost an hour on the way there, and then I gained it on the way back. So it's a net zero gain essentially. But I kept saying that to everybody. Using jet lagged as an excuse may be as good as diarrhea. Like, not quite. It's up there though. Like, I just kept telling people, "Oh man, I'm so tired. I'm so jet lagged," and it's just like it. I crossed one time zone. That's all it was.
Yeah, that's like I get even like if it's 1 hour I can deal with. Like once you get to that 2 hours, it really starts to mess with your head. I will say that 10 a.m. NFL football games is awesome.
I like 11. I experienced that a few weeks into the season, because it was 10 a.m. for a hot second there, but I really enjoy 11. I think it's the perfect time because then 11 and then you get to the Sunday night games or the evening games, and then they actually get done at a decent hour, so you're not up like super. I mean, you're still gonna be up, but you'll have like time to do other things. But no, I'm jet lagged because I had perfect execution of timing my airport itinerary. Here's what I'm starting to do now. Find out when boarding is, and then that's just your goal to get there. By then, obviously. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but like instead of the departure time, just scratch everything you do, because if you take like departure time, if departure is at 6:30 and then you're like, okay, I need to get there X amount before that, drive time, parking, figuring everything else, grab a coffee, whatever. I've just went for yeah, the boarding time, because that usually lasts about 20 minutes. I did on the way there, did have to forego my coffee. But that was okay. I ended up getting a chocolate milk. Probably not my best decision, but I had to get a little something for to wet the old whistle, but got there with time to spare actually. So I guess I didn't execute it perfectly, but I just didn't waste any time. Um Not one, but two people at the gate were speaking on their phones on speakerphone in public at an airport. And if that pisses you off, Matt, just hold on 1 second. The second person who did it was the lady who couldn't figure out the motion sensor automatic water bottle fill station. She was standing there trying to figure out her water, talking on speakerphone, because I was like, "Okay, I need to fill up my water," but I saw like kind of this whole commotion, this line forming, and I was like, "I want zero part of that." And she's yapping on her phone and she can't figure out the goddamn motion sensor. And finally the person behind her was like, "Oh, you just have to like, I don't know, make a motion for it to sense." I don't know how to explain a motion sensor. It's pretty obvious. And she just goes, "Oh," straight back to her conversation and goes, quote, "Oh, anyways, I'm sorry to hear about that," and just like walks on with her day. Doesn't even say thank you for just being an absolute moron and somebody else having to help her out. So yeah, she was on a top of my shit list.
Was that my mom?
It was not, but like very comparable. Like
Yeah, it
super comparable.
Sounds like something I've dealt with before.
Like if we're talking doppelgangers that don't look anything like the person, but they talk like them, they act like them, they walk like them, then yes, it was your mother's doppelganger who couldn't figure out the motion sensor water bottle fill station.
One thing that just drove me up the wall, this just reminded me, like a couple weeks ago, she's like, "I really want to watch this movie." And I'm like, "Cool, yeah, I want to see it." So I turn on the movie at her house. Before the opening credits are even done, she has her phone out talking on speakerphone. And I was like, "Okay, what are we doing here?"
Yeah, it's just, I like speakerphone if
When I'm
I'm
getting
driving
ready.
or if I'm in my home, in the privacy of my home, and I'm having a convo, and I'm kind of, that's what it's meant for. It's just like hands free. You can always tell if I have you on speakerphone because you'll just hear me like yelling across my apartment. Like,
You'll just hear
yeah, no, that sounds pretty sweet.
echoing of the toilet bowl. Just
Yeah. I do the courtesy of muting people, and I also have a rather strict no phone call while on the toilet policy, because then you get trapped there.
I'm so bad. I'll be on my phone on the toilet, obviously, and it'll ring, and I'll just instinctively answer it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm locked in now because I can't be like, can I call you back when I'm done blowing up this bathroom?
Can I call you back? I need a free hand to wipe my ass.
Can I call you back? I took a gross shit. Now I have to shower.
Yeah, let me call you back. I got to shower really quick. They're like, okay. Yesterday, and then last night I flew in. It's kind of along the lines of what we're saying. I flew in, and there was a task that I had to do. No brains, no headache related. I didn't want to forget, so I set an alarm, and I was just trying to like figure out like, okay, when am I going to get back to my place? And I just want to not forget, because I know that's an easy spot to be a space cadet in, of getting back from a trip. You just kind of want to unwind, lounge a little bit. I set an alarm, and it went off middle of my shower. For 5 minutes there, I was just hearing, because I couldn't get it. I'm in my shower, I'm soaking wet. My phone's over on the counter. I can't get it. But what I will say, two things. One, clean your place before you go on a trip, because I did that and I came back to just a spotless place, and it was freaking awesome. Like, it just made everything so much better that I just didn't have dishes in the sink and laundry everywhere. And two, when you land at your destination, you think it's over, right? But it's not. We landed probably about 25 minutes early, and I was thrilled. I was psyched. Like, airplane seats are so uncomfortable. I immediately start getting blood clots going. I got sciatica all up and down my business. And we arrive in Mesa, and we sat there for 30 minutes. Finally, the pilot gets on, and he said, we were early, but the airport wasn't ready for us. And I was like, what do you mean we weren't ready for us? Are we not in constant communication with air traffic control? Oh, hey, you see that gigantic plane about to land on the runway? Looks like they're here. No, they're not supposed to be here for another 25 minutes. I'm going to go back to sleep for a while. No, get ready. Okay, airport, be better than that. And it was all cause and effect. Because of that, my alarm went off while I was in the shower. I was trying to see my H, and I lost concentration. So thanks a lot.
One time I landed in Bismarck, and it was like 20 minutes, and like no one was really moving, and they just get on the loudspeaker. They're like, we can't get the door open, so we're gonna be here. I'm like, what?
Like, you suggested, get out the inflatable slides.
Yeah,
I would be all for that. Why not? Let's do it. Let's do a little practice run. Let's get us off this goddamn airplane.
Yeah, and then another time we circled above Bismarck for like a little over an hour.
That would piss me off so much. You're like, oh, there's my house, and you're just, wow.
Yeah, and like I was low enough where I could like text my sister who was picking me up, and I was like, yeah, we're still just going around in circles. And it's all because some jackass in his crop duster broke down on the only runway big enough for this plane to land. So there's only 2 runways, so he could have picked the other one and broke down. We'd have been fine. But couldn't get his plane off the runway. So they came on, and they're like, we're going to have to divert to Fargo to refuel. And I'm like, I'm going to have to divert a gun into my mouth right now. And then I wish they would have just landed and just blown through the guy's plane and be like, well, shouldn't have been parked there.
If you're flying a crop duster, your runway should just be a rural gravel road.
Someone's long driveway.
Yeah. If you're doing the crop duster thing, I don't even think you should have FAA clearance. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, you know that mile long gravel road to your farmstead? guess what? It's got multi-use. It is also now your runway.
I've been working on this joke. It goes something like, do you think there's anyone out there that blames the Wright brothers for 9/11? Just those kids and their stupid experiments. One thing led to another. It's got some work. What else? Oh yeah. Growing up, I thought honor roll for school was on a roll.
Yeah.
Like until I saw the actual piece of paper that said honor roll, I was just like, they would announce honor roll. I'm like, yeah, Kevin got good grades this year. He was on a roll. Like
Kevin
really
was smart
doing it.
too. He was a smart
Genius.
guy.
Yeah.
Good
And
name
it's-
drop.
Yeah. But yeah, it was up until like I think like one time in the 5th grade, I accidentally made the honor roll, and I like get this piece of paper, and I was like, honor roll. Oh, that explains why I never made it before.
Well, last week we talked about lyrics that we got mixed up, and I kind of found another one actually just earlier today. I think it's Something in the Orange by Zach Bryan, and he says something about how your mom pawned her ring, and this whole time I thought she was just pondering something, like she was thinking about something. But it
Oh,
turns
I
out
did too.
No, she pawned her ring, like took it to the old pawn shop for cash money.
Yeah.
So now you know. The more you know, which really helps. I got pranked again. So that's 2 weeks in a row now. I was out for a walk the other day, getting
come
some
back
fresh
to your
air.
house on fire.
Yeah, good prank. Totally got me. Thank God for that renter's insurance. But no, I was out for a walk, enjoying the nice 80-degree weather and sunshine. You don't know how much you appreciate it until you go back to North Dakota for a few days in late January, early February, and just want to eat a bullet for breakfast, lunch, and din-din.
You know what I had for lunch? Bullets. What I had for dinner? More bullets after I missed the first round.
But I was out for a nice little walk, and I see a quarter on the ground. Now, when you see a quarter on the ground, you're like, whoa, hello, retirement. Because like pennies or whatever, penny's a penny. And I still am superstitious enough where if it's not head side up penny, I ain't picking it up. But I see this quarter, right? And I was like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Like finding anything more than like a dime on the ground, you can even get into the bills, the paper bills. I'm like, sweet. I go down to pick up this quarter, and the bastard is glued to the sidewalks. And I did the whole, like, I went down, and I don't have much for nails, so I thought maybe, and I finally realized like it's glued, and you can kind of see the residue. It's like a different shade than the sidewalk color. And then I did the classic like looked around for the camera. I was waiting for Ashton Kutcher to come out and be like, dude, we got you good, you son of a bitch. You thought you were gonna get a quarter and you didn't. Glued. Prank again.
I just imagine you doing that and then coming back with like a propane tank and like a blowtorch and being like
just a jackhammer, just
cause just tons of property damage for the quarter. I know, I love change. Like I love collecting change until someone steals my cup of change when it moves to Arizona.
That was me.
And also my ashtray that Denko Andy made me.
It's right over there. That was me. I clean house.
And then sold a bunch of my musical instruments.
Okay, it was a ukulele that you never even strummed once, I'm pretty sure. And then it was wooden bongos, which I will admit were pretty cool. But they just sat in the closet, Matt. I was trying to liquidate, I was trying to clean and organize, and it was supposed to be a healthy practice, and never again. Mental note for the listeners out there: don't sell Matt's garage sale instruments that he bought and never does anything with.
I sold that Amico lunchbox.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, it's too much work.
But I think that's all we have for housekeeping. A solid 25 minutes or so. Let's get into the episode.
Okay.
Let's party.
Can you read what I have on the rundown?
Light bulbs and NAIPAs.
I'm running out of topics. This is something I put in my notes that I don't understand. Why do we have light bulbs?
Like in general, or like what do you mean by that?
It's plugged in to something that is connected to the grid. Couldn't it just be a light?
Are you saying if you like plug in a lamp?
Yeah.
But what about like a ceiling light or ceiling fan with a light?
That's
that different?
that's plugged into like your home, like that's like on the grid.
Yeah, that's how electricity works, Matt.
Yeah, but why do I need a light bulb? Couldn't it just be a light there?
It should just be like it should just be part of the deal. Like
I
you
think
don't need like a separate. You're saying you don't need a separate light bulb. It should just be a contraption that's already hooked to the electricity, and then it comes on when you need it to. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, and I think that unless I'm on drugs again, there was a light bulb that someone made it that lasted forever, and like the two big light bulb manufacturers bought the patent and just threw it in the garbage.
Yeah, light bulbs. I think you actually might be like right away when you said this. I was like, wow, I'm going to get dumber listening to this. But I think you actually might be onto something there, especially with modern technology. Because I was just thinking of this. There's this little, like, it looks like a credit card and you can sell them. I think it's part of like Ridge, the brand Ridge, like Ridge wallets. They sell these like little credit cards and they are, they're compatible with like Find My iPhone and stuff. So then you can always keep track of your wallet. And the question came up, like, how do you charge these things? It's the size of a credit card, exact same size. And the charge on that lasts up to 5 months. So anything bigger or that can plug into the grid, like you're saying, that should last an eternity, in my opinion.
Yeah, like why. And then like apparently there was like a coup that happened between like General Electrics and two other douchebags that like in the 20s someone
Was it the Wright brothers?
Yeah, they stopped the manufacture of a forever light bulb, and then 9/11 happened.
Is the light bulb a scam?
Yeah, I think it is.
Is that what we're getting at right now? Is that the light bulb's a scam?
Because I got two lights in here that are plugged in that no bulbs are needed.
I will say, though, I remember I bought a nice lamp one time at a garage sale. And I had that lamp, and it came with the light bulb, mind you. Otherwise, would have been no deal. And a free hat, obviously. You know, I negotiate at garage sales.
Raked him
right. Yeah, raked him right over the coals. But it came with that same light bulb. I had it in my apartment in Bismarck for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and then I took said lamp up to the lake cabin. That sucker still has the same light bulb in it. Yeah. So whatever that light bulb is, we need to buy those and not this other crap.
Yeah, I don't understand light bulbs, and I don't understand non-alcoholic IPAs.
Oh, gross.
IPAs in the first place are gross.
Mm-hmm.
They're great if you want to just empty out your stomach. But
out of your bunghole.
Yeah. If you want to be a reverse geyser, as I like to call it.
Really test gravity.
Yeah. But that's also a design of a toilet I had that's just you lay down and just but I'll move on. But someone was talking, they're like, yeah, like I get the non-alcoholic IPAs because like when you're an alcoholic, you want to still like drink stuff that tastes the same. And I'm like, I've never met an alcoholic that only drank IPAs. Like, what kind of alcoholics like, yep, gotta go get a fresh pack of orange squeeze for the morning? No, they're like, I'm gonna go buy bug spray and Kharkov and mix those together.
Yeah, I think to drink IPAs as well, you need to have like a beard like past your collarbone.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the general sense I'm getting. And I don't want to discriminate against IPA drinkers, but I am. Here I am discriminating.
Outdoor boots that aren't laced up properly.
Oh, okay. Now I know what you're saying now. I thought you were just kept throwing random ideas at me. Yeah, like the workman's boot that hasn't even seen the inside of a shop in its day. I mean, I'll admit I have a pair of those. They were great back in the upper Midwest climate with snow. Like you're never gonna get snow in the ankles. Let's just say that. But I actually tied them up, unless it was just a quick little in and out situation, not the burger chain, but quite literally going in and out or out and in, perhaps of an establishment. That's when I wouldn't lace them up just to throw something on the old toesies. But flannels.
Yeah, the flannel's a good one. Someone that has a spike ball set up in their backyard year round.
Can I admit something here? I don't think I've ever played a game of spike ball.
It's actually fairly hard, but it's also really easy to dominate people that you're just slightly more coordinated than.
Yeah, it feels like it could be one of those games that it could be very difficult to get started. And you know how like in some, like yard games or just friendly games when it's just like you're just blowing the doors off of them. It's kind of like awkward and not really that fun. I could see spike ball being that and like people just taking it entirely too seriously. I mean, this has been known on the podcast for a long time that I'm not exactly like a big like yard game guy per se. I don't even ask me to play cornhole. Jesus Christ. Like I don't even think about it. Don't even think about thinking about asking me to play cornhole. The answer is no.
I'm really liking this stereotypes of people that drink IPAs. People that name their dog after a type of wood.
Like here's my dog Birch.
Aspen.
Yeah. I kind of like Aspen. That's a cool name.
Yeah, that's all I have.
This is my dog, Cottonwood.
Yeah, but honestly, probably someone that wears a 5-panel hat that is so sun toasted that you don't know what logo it is.
Yeah, they wear like the cycling hats that like I don't really know what the purpose of those is.
Someone that has a bike rack on their Subaru but doesn't own a bike.
And it's on there year round, similar to the spike ball. Yeah.
Someone that buys a ski pass to a place that they don't live within 9 hours of.
Yeah. Like, oh, dude, I got Vail ski pass this year. It's like, dude, that's across the country.
Yeah, it's like I got this ski pass up in Banff. It's in Canada. I'm sure you've heard of it. I don't have a passport though, so
they just have a DUI and not even allowed in the United States. Like you didn't really think that one through, did you? I digress. Lately, I've been seeing the United States. A majority of it just got absolutely dumped on with snow recently, and it's always so funny as a Midwesterner at heart seeing these other people just struggle with snow. But what I saw on the socials was people would be piling up their snow around their vehicle or their front door. And then what they would do is like take a picture, send it to their boss and be like, oh, sorry, can't make it in today. I just want to say, and I mean, it's kind of got a little dated since it's been a little bit, but places that like North Carolina is still getting apparently just record snowfall right now.
4 inches.
It's 11 actually in certain spots, which is it's a lot. I'm hoping to all those people out there, I just want to say, I hope your boss says, too bad, we're still working today, or okay, we'll start an hour later, but I still expect you to be here. Like they're just doing it for likes and clicks and stuff, but I hope they went through all that back-breaking work of piling up all that snow just to have to shovel it again to like still go to work.
I saw this one guy. It was in Boston. He So there was so much snow on the street that like they plowed the middle of the street, but there was no like parking. So he literally spent the time to shovel out a parking spot, went to get his car to park there, and some fat bitch just rolled in and parked right where he's parked. So this guy, being the absolute G that he is, shovels out another spot, but puts all the snow on the other side of her car and then parks her into the spot so she can't get her
Nice.
car out.
Hey, chess, not checkers.
Yeah. But I would come unglued if that happened to me.
Well, I'm proud to announce I haven't shoveled 1 ounce of snow this year. I'm happy for that. I'm
We'll
very,
just see
very
how
proud.
the summer goes when your taint is really sweaty, but
Ah,
that
we got
doesn't
it.
happen here.
We got AC, so man, I went on a walk today. It was 80 degrees. I was just loving it. I was just
Dude.
relishing in the sun.
So I'm going down to Arizona in a couple weeks, and Airbnb just canceled our Airbnb.
Yeah, is there any reason for that, or did you just get an email saying like,
It's like,
sorry?
sorry, we gave it to someone cooler, I guess. I don't know. But turns out we got an awesome upgrade because we got a different place that has a heated pool and a hot tub.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've told the fellow companions on your trip that I'll like probably be hanging out with you, because one of them texted me and was like, hey, we should hang out while I'm down there at least one day. And I'm like, I'm probably going to be with you guys. I'm probably going to stay at this goddamn Airbnb. Like, I'm going to be that guy. Just have a Kleenex over me as a blanket in the corner.
Yeah. I'm using a smaller couch on top of a bigger couch as a blanket.
They probably got some like flotation devices for the pool. I'll probably just park it on one of those, call it a night.
I'm using a spare door I found in the attic as a blanket.
Whatever works, whatever you have to do. But moving on, episode 284.
There's a new documentary out called Miracle, the Boys of the 80s on Netflix, and it is awesome.
Okay, I did see this because I did have brief access to Netflix while I was back. But before you go on, wasn't there already a documentary made about this?
I think there's one about the Russians.
Oh, they did the other side.
Yeah. I
was
mean,
about
there
to
was
say,
like
we need to chill out on the documentaries of covering the same, subject
Yeah.
matter.
I mean, I don't know why they didn't wait like 5. Well, maybe some of them have been dead by then, but also, did you know, like, I'm not going to really talk about anything that happened in the documentary. It's cool. Go watch it. But I did my own deep dive on like Wikipedia, basically about everyone. And did you know that the captain of the team, Mike Eruzione, just never played hockey again?
After the tournament?
Yeah, he could have easily gone to the NHL, but he's like, I don't think I'm going to ever get anything that comes close to that. So.
And what year was that again? 1980. Just 80 on the dot.
Yep.
In his defense, professional sports players were not making nearly the amount of money they're making now. So you probably could have made just as good of money just being a fucking lumberyard manager. There I go swearing again, but
yeah. Never mind. And then the other thing that I found out that Herb Brooks died in like 2003 in a car accident that was very preventable, but he just didn't wear his seatbelt and got hucked out of the car.
Was it just a head-on collision and he just kind of...
It was a single car. I think he hit like a guardrail or something, but it was like, there was an article that I read that said he had a 99% chance of living with no major injuries if he wore his seatbelt.
Well, you heard it here first, kids. Wear your seatbelt.
Yep. And then
it's like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods cannot help himself but get into his like I don't know what you call it. It's not biannual, but like every 5 years, Tiger Woods just gets into just a rough car collision where he's like, oh, I don't know if I'm ever gonna walk again, and everyone's like, no.
Also, it's so funny because it's like they're like, yeah, Tiger Woods was driving his car in LA and drove off a cliff. No drugs were involved. And it's like, there was plenty of drugs involved.
Yeah, there was no drugs involved because they're all in his system. There may have not found any drugs because he did them all before the accident. And then I love how it's like sponsored by like Mercedes Benz or something. So they're just, I'm sure the PR team is just like, yeah, the PR team's just like, I love Tiger Woods, but come on, man, like, gotta figure it out.
I love the game of telephone that happens with Tiger Woods injuries, because it's like it'll stem from like, yeah, his leg is scraped up pretty bad, and he'll go through like 3 people, and it's like it's all bone. They're gonna have to take his leg, and then
Yeah, he's in surgery for the amputation as we speak.
yep. And you just see it. You see him at Jimmy John's later that day, and he's just walking around. Like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Freaky fast. What can you do? Any more on the miracle, Matt?
Yeah, okay. Albeit it was a huge upset. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this, but huge upset. US should not have beat the Russians. But I don't think the Russians were as good as everyone says they were, because in the like early stage rounds, they were losing to Finland after the second period, and Finland gave up 6 goals in the third period
To the Russians.
Yep. And then they were losing to Canada 3-1 with 4 minutes left, and gave up 3 unanswered goals in the last 4 minutes to lose.
Hey, tape to tape, give 110%, full 60.
Yeah, I mean, I'd a good on, like, it's the biggest upset probably in sports history outside of our 5th grade basketball team winning their first game.
Mm-hmm.
We are the champions.
You said it, sister.
But I don't think the Russians were as good. Maybe like a couple of years before, but all of their players were super old.
Okay, couple of things. I think this happened so long ago, especially like the time of in the world of was that Cold War?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's also helped the Russians be this like viewed and perceived as this big enemy, nasty, just they're gonna dominate you. Like Russians are scary. They're still scary to this day. Like, I'm not gonna mess with a Russian. No, thank you. But I think that had a lot to do with it. Plus, it was so long ago that like it's just a new wave of people. Like when the movie Miracle, is that a Disney production?
Yeah.
When that came out, like it was so celebrated, but they kind of introduced that to like a new generation of people, so we just didn't know a whole lot about it. And you just, whatever you heard from your grandparents or aunts and uncles or mom, dad, whatever, whoever was telling you about it, like in their eyes, it was like, oh my goodness, Russia, this big bad, hockey team, and then they beat them. Another thing is like I love the classic of we just jump to conclusions of like, oh, that was the gold medal game. It's actually like, no, it wasn't. That was the semifinal to go into the gold, if I'm understanding it correctly, right?
But even it's really weird the way like the point system went. So even if they won, they still needed Sweden to lose their game against like Finland, I think. Because
I think they Russia went on to play Finland for the bronze.
No, they like if you win,
quote me on a thing here.
The top 2 in each division went and played like pretty much like they would play each other, and your points would carry over from the other round. And since the US tied, so the Russians actually took the silver medal because they had more points than Sweden. It's confusing, but
my brain is in a pretzel right now.
So
final thing I wanted to say real quick to clarify, 5th grade was the traveling basketball team, and we had a basketball tournament in Beulah, North Dakota, where we got ourselves into a 4-way tie and ended up taking 4th place with a medal about this big. It was about the size of that quarter that I tried to pick up off the sidewalk the other day. And the whole way home, we blared Queen, we are the champions. I just want to clear that up.
Another thing about it was so I listened to this podcast interview with Jack Callahan, like one of the bigger players on the team, and he goes, Yeah, so like when the movie Miracle came out in like 2003, we all went to LA to watch it for a premiere, and we all watched it, thought it was a good movie. And at the end of it, one of the players stood up. He's like, "Good thing we won, or that movie would have sucked." And then the other one,
Yeah, they
when
definitely would have just made a movie about a random Olympic
when
game.
he when Herb Brooks just tears into one of the players for like being hurt, but he's like, he can't really get hurt anymore. The guys in the documentary are like, "Oh, it was way worse. He was so mean to him that they had to like hold him back from physically fighting him."
Yeah, he's
Uh,
her Brooks is like, "Oh, you want to be hurt? I'll show you hurt," and just cocks his fist back.
yeah.
I'll
And,
make you hurt.
it's just, wow, I'm glad we won that game, or that movie would have sucked.
I'm glad the Titans went undefeated. Otherwise, that movie would have kind of sucked and been racially charged. But now we'll never forget. We'll always remember the Titans and the Miracle on Ice. Thank you to Disney for doing what they do. So I've been in the job market lately, and I applied for this job. Matt, you hear about it every day where I apply for these jobs and they immediately send me a message. And like some of them are like, send us a 3 to 5 minute video on why you would be a good fit for this job. And it's like, I think the fucking application, resume, and cover letter already kind of went over that, but I usually just discard those. Sorry, I'm not going to go the extra mile for your job.
It's weird you didn't get hired.
But this one I got an immediate message where they asked like a generic follow-up question, and it was just in message form. They didn't want me to do a video. And they're asking like, why do you, the classic question, why do you want to work for us? Why would you be a good fit? Blah, blah, blah. So I saw the message immediately because it was like instantaneous. I submitted the application. I'm sure it was just an auto reply that was just ready to rock and roll whenever anybody applies for it. But I see it, and then I just copy and paste the question into Chat KGB, and then like Chat just gives me a response. So I just copy and paste that response right back into the message thread. Literally, the guy sent the message at 11:46 a.m. and I responded with a well thought out, professional 4-paragraph response within the same minute. And I'm like, that'll never work, but whatever. The dude messaged me back later that day and asked when I was ready for an interview. I actually did go to the interview earlier today, and he's like, hold on, let me grab my computer. And I could tell he was pulling up it was on Indeed. He was pulling up our message thread, and he's kind of like just like glossing over what I said. He's like, you had a really good response here. I was like, yeah. I mean, totally. I don't even know what it said, dude. I didn't proofread it. I have time. I was like, yeah, totally, dude. But yeah,
there was a guy, I think my brother told me about this, like at one of his like previous jobs, that someone used AI to write like a publication for a press release and just copy and pasted and didn't look at it. But at the bottom of the press release, it said like produced using so and so AI. And he left that in there and it went out. And he just got canned.
Yeah, what are the mediums out there that like you really like shouldn't be using AI for? Because just a heads up for anybody out there listening, if you're going through, just trying to find a new job, applying resumes, cover letters, whatever, use the shit out of AI.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Chat GPA guy, but
what really just yanks my anus is when you go through the whole application, you upload your resume, and then you proceed to fill out 4 pages of stuff that is on your resume.
Yeah, the application that has you go through your work experience that is on your resume. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. When I was just bukkaking job applications out there, out of
Good
I
God, man.
I sent like, I'm not kidding, probably 25 applications out the same day using the same
impressive.
cover letter that I didn't even change after the first one. So like I was applying to X company with that cover letter, had that company's name on the cover letter, and sent that to 24 other companies.
Well, it's funny too on Indeed, at least. I can't speak for other platforms, but for Indeed, since I'm just using the AI, I just I use the space where it's like you can upload your cover letter or you can just write one in this little text box. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do that. But it's funny, every time I get in there, it auto populates, just kind of like you did. It auto populates the cover letter from the prior company that I applied for. And usually in cover letters, you address them by the company. You mention the exact title you're applying for and, like relevant experience and stuff. But Indeed auto populates it. So then I just press clear. But then Indeed says, "Are you sure you want to clear this?" It's like, no, I'm applying for Target and I have my cover letter for Walmart in there. Let's see how this goes over. Like, no shit, I want to write a new cover letter, but I don't know. It's just like, and I really have just gotten numb to it. I do have a conscience, contrary to popular belief, but it's just like, whatever. Let's just get through this process. And if you think I'm worthy enough of a phone call or an interview, then we can hash out the meat and potatoes. But I really think the application process, automate it as much as you can, because you're just going to waste a lot of time applying for jobs that you're ultimately just not going to get.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about applying for jobs. It's really fun. One of the
It's
more
not.
yep.
It's not.
Last week we analytically broke down the lyrics from Jack and Diane and came to the conclusion that Jack had some horrible sexual habits and did not know how to eat a corn dog.
A chili dog.
This week I have a conspiracy theory about Eddie Money's "Take Me Home Tonight."
All right, I beat you to it. I pulled up the lyrics just to really get ready for this, but take it away, man.
Yep. It's obviously supposed to be him just absolutely dumpstering some girl back at his apartment.
I love this song, by the way.
Yeah, such a good song. But I think it's about him killing and eating someone.
Yeah.
I feel a hunger. It's a hunger that tries to keep a man awake at night.
Have you tried falling asleep on an empty stomach? Not easy.
When I feel you whet my appetite.
It isn't safe to walk the city streets alone. I gotta listen to this song. I can't picture. All I know is there's a dance that we always do to "Take Me Home Tonight," and it could get dangerous if you're in a crowded bar. That's all I'm gonna say.
So it's like one of my like favorite songs, like out in a bar, and it is Carson Kelly's Walk Up song. And hearing it at Wrigley, even though it plays for 5 seconds, you're just spraying beer all over the place. But the chorus goes, "Take me home tonight. I don't want to let you go till you see the light." I think that he's strangling her.
Yeah, murder.
Go towards the light.
Mm-hmm.
I get frightened in all this darkness. I get nightmares.
I hate to sleep alone. So this guy definitely sleeps with the dead body.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
I need some company, a guardian angel. Most of the time, you're like, I need some company, a prostitute. That at least that person's alive.
It's so crazy how much different these songs sound when me and you are just like plain text reading these lyrics, and there's no guitar or drums or anything, and there's us saying it.
Yeah.
He definitely drugs them. I can feel you breathe. I can feel your heart beat faster. Faster.
Yeah.
That's some sort of drug.
You analytically break down a lot of the hits from the 80s, and most of them feel very creepy.
God, I'm just having a hard time picturing or trying to figure out how this sounds. Who's Ronnie?
That's what I was wondering. Just like Ronnie sang, so I'm thinking that Ronnie was like his first victim.
Okay, so he's like a is that Ted Bundy who was rather gay?
That was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer. Sorry, my bad.
Ted Bundy was the super good looking one that was played by Zac Efron.
Yeah, Dahmer had a bit of a gay fetish.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't judge him for it, but he did murder and eat them, so
Yeah.
I'm allowed to judge.
I had this joke I used to do where it was like someone I was talking to said that Jeffrey Dahmer got stabbed while he was cleaning a toilet and he bled out in the toilet. That's got to be the worst way to die. And I was like, I feel like getting eaten by Jeffrey Dahmer would be aggressively worse.
It's bleeding out over a toilet. At least he didn't stain anything.
Yeah,
You know,
I bleed into the toilet. It just comes out of my other end.
We've all bled into a toilet before.
Yeah.
Okay, and we don't want to get into it right now.
Oh man.
Take me home tonight. That's part of our weekly analytical lyrical breakdown. Lot to unpack there. What do I got? Oh, dude, I'm bringing back late night texts and drunk phone calls. I just feel like we got away from them for a while, and I hate to see that. I'm the type of person, I'll text anybody at any time of the day. It doesn't really matter because my whole thought process is like, yeah, just get back to me whenever you can. But I'm just gonna shoot. If I shoot you a text at 2, 3 in the morning, I'm really not expecting a response at the moment. It would just be like if you're at work and I text you at 9:30 a.m. You didn't get back to me until 3 p.m. I don't really see any difference there. Like you have do not disturb, you can turn your phone off, whatever. But I don't see the issue with like messaging friends or people or whoever just at really any time. I know it kind of like can kind of maybe look bad, but is it really that bad? I don't think so.
I when I get really, really drunk, I usually lose the people I'm with and I'll call them 430 times.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes
then
if I get really drunk, I'll forget that Uber and Lyft exists and I'll just start calling people for rides.
So and I do this pretty much every time this happens when I get super, super drunk, usually about once a year or once every 2 years, that I just get this Sunday scaries super bad that I'll just go and delete all my recent calls and be like, well, never happened. So I just looked it up, and on April 18th around 2024, I did that. And that was a Friday.
Do you keep a ledger or something?
No, I just went back to when my recent calls started. So I had deleted them up to that point.
Yeah, I think I remember that one actually. I think we started happy hour 2 for ones. And then yeah, I think
was that when that was when Rittenhouse was in town, wasn't it?
I want to say so because I think I wanted to say there was something to do with a comedy show around that time.
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
And it's funny though, Matt has the most innocent like look on his face. Like when he gets really drunk, it's the true essence of lights are on, but nobody's home because like his eyes are just like big and he's always got a smile on. But like you try to formulate, multiple words which would equate a sentence. It's not happening.
Yeah. I went.
Or Matt
I-
does this thing where he's like, dude, we should go. And I'm like, Matt, you're an adult. If you want to go, I don't have to go with you. You can go if you
because
want.
that's because I don't remember the code to get into my front door.
And you want somebody to come with you.
I'll get into my like lift and I'll be like, my front door is like blah blah blah. I'm gonna forget it. So could you let me in when we get there? Oh, oh fuck. The I was gonna say something else that wasn't intelligent.
I don't know. It's just like if I'm out and about, I'm not like on my phone a whole lot. I'm socializing, I'm talking to the people around me, we're having fun, going from A to B to C. So then when I get home at the end of the night, it's like, okay, like time to like catch up on things, do a little doom scrolling, see what's all out there. So if I send you a late night meme or a reel or just really whatever, I would just take it as a compliment, just be like, oh, Jordan was thinking about me, like I don't know. I guess I'm just tired. Like, cause what if I wasn't drunk at all? What if I was just up late? What if I couldn't sleep or I was just up late watching movies or something? And I was just sending messages or reels or whatever memes on just a random weeknight. They're like, oh,
I remember it. So on Sunday night, I was over at someone's house watching the Grammys, and there was like a bunch of people in the.
stop.
This story has a good ending. So
Olivia Dean is my girl.
I did ask the question because I don't really know who any of it. I was like, how far could you throw Olivia Dean? And then everyone was like, okay, like, how am I going? I'm like, you could do it any way you want. You just have to launch her. And it's like, I don't know.
Yep. 25 yards.
You cannot throw her 75 feet. But I went in, they're like, oh, there's a bunch of food in the kitchen. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I went in there. I've like not really been to this house before. And I'm like, look at it, I can't find the plate. And there's just a pile of nachos. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna eat some nachos. And I'm kind of like scooping them up, doing like the hand plate. And then the owner of the house walks in as I just have like a big handful of nachos, and she's like, plates are right there. And they were sitting like right on the couch.
Just in plain view. I thought you were going to say you're going to grab the whole tray and then you just casually walk out to the living room. Oh, you guys want some? Like,
and then the weirdest thing was she freaks out. She's like, yeah, I put the ribs in a bowl. But can you hand me the bowl of ribs? Yeah. I don't know who anyone is at the Grammys. I felt lost, so I left. Like,
I think that's her name, Olivia Dean. She's got that one song.
Yeah, a little.
Let's do a little fact checking here. Olivia Dean.
Who do you think you could throw farther, Olivia Dean or Sabrina Carpenter?
Okay, I gotta get a little. Okay, Olivia Dean appears to be black.
Yeah,
Pacific
she's
Islander. I'm not really sure what we're going with here.
she's from England.
Olivia Dean. Oh, I thought it said death and it said teeth. I was like, she died.
that would have been the biggest mush in podcast history. Yeah, she died 35 seconds ago.
Well, we better upload this ASAP because the way we go, anytime we mention a celebrity, something negative happens to them. What is their song? Is it Messy? No, that's her album. What song made Olivia? Man, I Need. Thank you, Google. Woo. See, the funny thing is I sent somebody a reel of her singing Man, I Need, but acoustic. And then the next day they were like all up in arms because I sent them a late night acoustic version of Olivia D. I was like, I just thought it was a cool song. I thought you'd like it. Apparently not. I'll just fuck myself, I guess.
Yeah.
Man, I Need. Okay, that was terrible.
Anything else? We're getting out of here.
Let me see. Do I got anything else on here?
Any show announcements or anything? I have Bismarck's Funniest Comedian on February 13th. And nice. I might be at Laughing Sun on the 17th.
Nice.
And I think open mic night February 25th at 5th Underground. You can come see me there. And if
go
you play
check
my
out
cards
Open
right,
Mic Night.
Yeah.
Right. I actually lined that. I was able to line that one up. So I'm really happy about that. Wednesday, February 25th at 5th Underground. Go see Matt and the fellow comedians. Go do some open mic night. It's free. It's a really cool venue. It's the best venue in Bismarck, in my opinion, for comedy. So the guys and gals, I don't know if there's multiple female comedians there yet, but we'll just throw them in there just in case. They're going to do a great job. I don't have any show announcements down here. I keep running into just snafus with liquor licenses and insurance and stuff like that. I also haven't taken the stage in like 2 months. So definitely need to pop the old cherry again on that, but I'll get there. I'm hoping to have a interview later this week. I believe I'll have it lined up. I just need to confirm. We're kind of a day late this week, so bear with us. Some things came up that didn't really plan for. But I'm hoping to have another interview later this week. Anything beyond this week is going to be a real up in the air thing. The schedule is appearing to be a very, very tight for me going forward. Matt's going to be down in a few weeks, so we're probably just going to act like we've never drank before and forget the security code to the Airbnb, have to upgrade. It's going to be a whole thing. Sleep on the air mattress.
I'm going to sleep in the pool, aka drown.
Sleep on an air mattress, wake up, you're on the floor because it deflated. I've seen it 100 times.
I'll get a Uber to my house 1,700 miles away.
Yeah, dude, don't do that. That'll be rough. But that's all we have. Thank you so much for listening. Check us out on social, subscribe on YouTube, tell your friends and family. Up next, we have episode 285.